So, Arjun, I think it's been a long wish of mine to actually speak with you. I think we were supposed to do one for Made in Heaven, but for some reason it just never worked out. But I guess there I durust hai. And it's wonderful to have you on Filme Shilmy.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. I'm glad we're speaking now.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, firstly, congratulations on the Emmy nomination for Made in Heaven. I don't think there could have been a better show and a better performance to sort of receive a nomination for that. So, firstly, kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. That means a lot. Thank you so much. Because there's
So,
so much good work out there, and to hear that is really something.
you've been obviously acting for what, 13 years now. And
Mhm.
to finally get a recognition of this level, I mean, what sort of emotions kind of go through your head at such a time?
Honestly, just I think more than anything, it's gratitude. Honestly, and just there's a sense of calm, because there's like no greater reinforcement of the fact that I think if you just stay your path and take your time with your journey as it is,
Yeah.
there is a higher power out there looking out for you, clearing the way for you, and what's meant for you will eventually be yours, and what's not meant for you can never be yours. So
Absolutely. No, this is so true. You've got to keep that faith and trust the process. I think that's the most important aspects to have in life. In fact, obviously,
yeah,
the lockdown thriller, The Gone Game, has also been well received as well. So again, congratulations on
yeah,
that as well. So
thank
that
you,
has to be
thank
an
you.
icing on the cake for you as well, right?
That was really something really special. Yeah, I mean, I was really fortunate. Firstly, I think maybe possibly the only actor in the city who got to be a part of two projects in the lockdown. One was a short film called
Yes.
Home Stories,
Yeah.
and then The Gone Game. Home Stories was, of course, much more contained and one character, single location. The Gone Game was something like uh, we were just a bunch of really bored creative people wanting to do something, wanting to channelize all these emotions we were feeling at the time, and yeah, I mean, we just jumped into it blind, and I think really kudos to the team, the writers and creators, and Nikhil Bhatt, the director, especially, for really putting something like this together out of nothing.
Hmm.
um yeah, and I feel really proud and lucky. Yeah,
Yes, I think it's really interesting because I think even on Amazon we had South Indian a Tamil film anthology
that's
as
right.
well called Puttam Pudu Kalai, which was fantastic. And it's great how lockdown has really brought out the creativity within people. I mean, so obviously that must have really helped you as well to keep that actor in you alive. I'm sure when you had the home stories come on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like I myself spent some time being a little confused about, what is this going to mean for the world? What is this going to mean for our cinema and our art? How are we going to reflect what's happening around us in our reality? Because suddenly, if you're just shooting the same kind of films we've been shooting all our lives, it's suddenly in the realm of fantasy. That's not how the world is at this point in time. So I've that's just been something that's been flying around in my head, and yeah, and I think humans have an amazing ability to adapt primarily to a situation, and I think one of the strongest things about the human race is actually its creative fire, which you can't really put out. I think no matter what situation we face, I think we'll find a way to express what we're feeling.
Yes, that is true. We are very expressive creatures. In fact, a bit too expressive for my liking
Yeah.
sometimes. But I think I think the show Made in Heaven, it broke glass ceilings of sorts. And I
Mm.
think primarily one of the main sort of um, you know taboo breaking moves that it did was the way audiences view homosexual characters.
Sure.
Because until then we had seen a lot of caricaturish kind of um,
Yeah.
portrayals of them, and even if you had like
Yeah.
the sort of sensitive ones, they wouldn't be in the
Yeah.
mainstream sort of commercial space, so to speak. What
Yeah.
difference in cinema and society have you noticed since you essayed Karan Mehra on the show?
Man, I mean, so much has happened. First of all, uh, it was while we were filming that homosexuality was decriminalized. So that itself was something so crazy and special happening to us while we were still filming. um, and it's funny, like this show, it did not, like, people ask me how my life has changed, and how was, what kind of love and appreciation did you receive. Let me tell you that, of course, like, this was not the box office. So the love and appreciation I got was not like that crazy frenzied superstardom overnight kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
A lot of what was coming to me was actually like really personal stories from people,
Mm.
about how they've been able to come out to their families, or how they've been able to come out to their places of work after watching the show, or how someone has been able to accept a queer member of their family better after watching the show.
Huh.
So as an artist, as an actor, I think like this kind of reward is really immeasurable, because everything else, money, fame, it's all frills. I think like if we truly, through our work, are able to touch even one life in a way that
Mm.
it actually changes a life, I don't think there's a greater reward than that. And this is the reward that I have received the most. So I can certainly say there is a it's a step. Change is not something that happens overnight. It's
Mm.
like a large block, and we all have our part to play in slowly chipping away at that block. And this is mine.
Yeah, सब कुछ धीरे धीरे होता है. I think people have this
Yeah,
very I think because of the world, it's become so instant now with the digital mediums rising. I
yeah,
think it's kind of
yeah.
become very, very expected that things will happen overnight because there's more awareness about certain things as well, right?
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah,
And I also think, playing a character like Karan Mehra, who faces high pressures and trials and tribulations of his degree, it's not easy, because he's obviously a very layered character, and we get to see that whole journey throughout the whole series as
yeah,
well. So, what
yeah.
aspects of your life did you kind of reflect on to bring out those struggles and triumphs as well?
That's interesting. I'll be honest, as an actor, obviously, like I am first and foremost, I'm a straight heterosexual man. I have obviously not had the same life journey that Karan Mehra has had, but I think essentially we're all facing the same struggles in our lives. We're all going through those same basic emotions of trying to accept ourselves, to forgive the people we love, those basic, those things. So as an actor, I'm constantly, not just with Karan but with every character I play, I'm constantly looking for instances in my own life where I might have felt some degree of the emotion that I require to truthfully portray what the character is feeling at that point in time. So there's many, I mean, like it's a lifetime of memories that you get to pick and choose from. I wouldn't say that there is any one aspect
Right.
that of my life that I was able to kind of draw a direct parallel with Karan Mehra. uh, on the other hand, what I try to do with my characters, other than once I've brought all of myself and my life experience and memory to the part, I think there's something I try to take away as well. I think every character, at the end of it, a character's journey is basically one of growth. That's what the audience essentially likes to see. We like to see a character go through his or her journey of growth to whatever. um, and I try to take away whatever the key lesson of that character's growth is. I
Mm.
try to take it away into my own life, because
Mm.
those are the perks. We get to live so many other lives than just our own, and we get to learn from them.
Mm. Mm. So, what do you think has been the greatest learning for you then, from playing Karan Mehra?
Hmm. I think one of well, sometimes it's also very subconscious. It's not like you're actually even trying, but I think subconsciously there are definite lessons in his journey, which are lessons of self acceptance, firstly, and I think forgiveness, and I think just standing up for something you believe in. uh, yeah, there's quite a bit in there, being
Yeah.
being a true being a true friend. uh,
Mm.
yeah,
I think
there's a lot.
one thing that he needs to learn is to stop being commitment phobic. I think that's one thing that I've realized as well from seeing his character as well. I think he was very scared of commitment. I think because of the previous hangover he had with the individual, which we obviously see a
Exactly,
conclusion in the end as well, which was, I must say,
exactly,
very beautiful. I
exactly.
love that whole the way that they come back together. You've even played homosexual roles in films like I Am before, which again also steers
Yeah,
away from stereotypes. But having said that,
yeah,
straight heterosexual actors nowadays are still very skeptical and
yeah,
apprehensive of playing a gay character. And I've never understood
yeah.
why. But how do you think this mindset can now change?
you know I really can't speak for other people, obviously. I think
Yeah.
there is a there is a stigma, I guess, attached to it, which I guess each individual has to really break through themselves.
Mm,
I thankfully did that quite early in my career. Thank God. Um, the first time I did it, it was a golden opportunity for me to be between Meera Nair and Irfan Khan, and I was just like, wow, that was the first time I got to face the camera. The
yeah.
second time was for Onir's film I Am, in which the reason I did that was to break exactly this barrier in myself as an actor. Oh, it really scared me to have to be intimate with a man, and but as an actor, I overcame that. And this one, Made in Heaven, was something else altogether. This was just, it was beyond just homosexuality. It was like this show was taking such a strong stance against all these things, patriarchy, misogyny, like all these archaic laws and traditions, which we don't even know who they serve anymore. And
Mm,
um, I just knew, like, after my first reading, that this is something I just have to be a part of. I've been really fortunate to have done this with only directors who have that maturity and sensitivity. They're not interested in misrepresenting the community. Um, yeah, and like I said, I don't know. I think there's only so much an individual can do, and each individual needs to do. With Made in Heaven, I actually felt like the reason I took up this show was because I thought that, for the third time in my career, really, do I want to do this? But then I thought that, what, as long as I've still got this divide in my mind of
mm.
whether it's a straight part or a gay part, I'm afraid my support, so-called support, is hollow. And so this show gave me an opportunity to really put my money where my mouth is, and really stand strongly with the community. Yeah,
Sure. And I'm glad you did, because I think it's become a very iconic role in many, many ways. And I think it's something that people will always refer to. In fact, whenever we talk about homosexual representations within Indian cinema now, as a whole, Made in Heaven is the first name that comes up. We've got that, and of course, Ek Ladki Ko Dekha as well, because for that
sure.
kind of was on the mainstream kind of commercial Bollywood space, and that kind of really brought the topic of homosexuality forward as well. Speaking of
Yeah.
that, actually, speaking on mainstream and commercial, you've done a lot of work in like sort of the mainstream space of Hindi cinema. Like, but I feel the recognition and the sort of appreciation you've gained have been with projects like My Friend Pinto, like Bridge Mohan Amar Rahe, and of course Indian Summers. Why do you think this is the case?
First of all, I think My Friend Pinto, I would very much place in the same category in the commercial space as My Name is Khan, etc. I
Right.
would say that yes, those in the beginning of my career was my brush with commercial cinema, so to speak. But
Yeah.
I think I found very early that where commercial cinema was concerned, I was kind of being slotted as this, hero's best friend. I felt I was being used as an embellishment in star vehicles, and
Yeah.
some at times I could really clearly see in front of me that I'm so much better than this guy who I'm playing supporting lead to, at times.
Mm,
And I just wasn't happy with that. I thought, uh, let me focus on, smaller work that gives me more creative satisfaction, they may be smaller projects, the fewer people may see them, but they're my projects. I would be proud to carry them on my shoulders. So I think inherently I just kind of started diverging a little bit and focusing more on opportunities that were giving me more to do and showcase my talent. Honestly, that's all I really wanted to do.
Mm.
um, so I think, yeah, that's the way I gravitated. And
Mm.
now I feel quite fortunate because I guess, because that is what my journey has been. I find that I think I'm perfectly primed for where we're at today, where our content is suddenly now getting even bigger than the star, where our work is being watched in every corner of the globe.
Mm.
And yeah, I think I feel really good. I feel like uh, a little bit in the right place at the right time right now.
Mm. Mm. There was always a set type of Bollywood hero. You'd have,
Yeah,
he'd always kind of be the stereotypical kind of heroic kind
yeah,
of look and all of that. But now I think it's all changing as well. In terms of like, it seems like other sort of like people who are not the set sort of formulaic uh,
yeah,
actor are getting a chance to sort of also take center stage now. So perhaps, do you think
yeah.
if you were in this phase when you started, how do you think things would have been different for you?
Man, I don't even know where this evolution took place, honestly, because
Mm.
let me be honest, I grew up in old Delhi. Delhi is a really starstruck city. I grew up idolizing first, like right from my childhood, first Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, then, Anil Kapoor and all, how cool he was in like Jambaz and Tezab and all these films. And then all the three Khans, as they came around, I was a huge fan of all of them. And my idea too, until I got here and started working, was that, yeah, I'm gonna be a hero. What else am I gonna be? It and I remember really early in my career when I was still working as an AD, one day someone asked me, "What kind of actor do you want to be?" And I didn't even understand the question because I was like, "What do you mean?" I want to be a hero, you know. And I don't know where the change started taking place. I don't know where the sensibility started changing. I think it all started happening together as you know there was more and more independent work happening in India. There was I had perhaps also started making my acting inroads and realized the systems that are at play
Mm.
in Bollywood. And I don't know, man. And today I think about it. I was like, I don't know. I now there is. I guess now what I believe is that look, if I ever try to do something which is so far removed from everything I believe in and stand for myself, I
Yeah.
think I would only embarrass myself and everybody else. I it's yeah. I think I don't know. It's just we're very fortunate that today exists a world of entertainment wherein there is space for everybody and everything and every sensibility and every look and demographic and really this is the growth that our cinema needs to go through, and I'm glad
Mhm.
it's going through it right now. Yeah,
It's interesting you say that. Actually, I was having a discussion with a friend yesterday, and this is what he was saying. He goes, like cinema's closing down at the moment. I think that was like I thought like it was gonna be kind of threatened by the OTT space anyway. I felt like the OTT was gonna kind of like sort of become a big competition for them. But now what's happened with lockdown and with COVID, it's kind of sped up that process as well. So are
yeah,
you quite
yeah.
surprised? So are you quite surprised to see the fact that OTT is rising as well?
uh I know this debate has been on for a few years now, OTT versus cinemas. As an actor, it's impossible for me to have a preference. I want to do everything and I want my
Yeah,
work
yeah,
to
of
be
course.
seen everywhere.
Hmm.
But here we are, we're like thrust into a situation wherein cinemas are shut and everything is going out on the platforms. We've often had a situation where there's this really big film and there's a small show, and the show ends up overshadowing the film. So
Yeah, true.
I think things are just really unpredictable right now, and but it's exciting, and I like what's happening. I like how the playing field has been leveled. I like how talent, a lot of talent in this city that's been waiting in the wings now has an opportunity to shine. Yeah, I love the democracy that's come about to the entire process, wherein a filmmaker like Zoya Akhtar can take such risky choice, can make riskier choices, with her casting, with the kind of content she wants to put out.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's great, and I'm only glad. Like I said, right place, right time. I think it is unfortunately the already established systems which are threatened over here. For actors like me, many out there like me, I think like it's a great time for us.
No, 100%. I think I can definitely vouch for the fact that the web has really opened up opportunities for actors
Yeah,
and filmmakers to explore
yeah,
themselves creatively without the fear of censorship or without the pressure of box
yeah,
office, so to speak.
yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
what else do you think the medium can actually offer, though? What else lies ahead? I mean, do you think it's big enough for it to actually become a separate entity to kind of like Bollywood, so to speak?
I mean, I'm not sure. I think Bollywood is something that will, I mean, like I said, I think the market will exist for everything always. So, and I'm not even interested in anything replacing anything. I'm just interested in everything kind of coexisting. I'm interested in equal opportunity. I'm interested in things being decided on other factors other than just box office numbers. um, yeah. I don't know. Like it's unpredictable. I'm certainly nobody to predict what the future holds.
Right, right. So I think also, and I know we kind of spoke about this briefly, but I just want to kind of extend that point as well. You're born, I believe, in London, right? And you were bred
Mm-hmm.
mostly in India.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, I believe you're also educated as well in acting. I think you studied it as well quite extensively. So whilst pursuing a cinematic career, I mean, when you were beginning at that time, what was your goal and ambitions then, and have those goals and ambitions changed significantly over the years?
Like I said, like before I ever moved to Bombay, even I very much my goals and dreams were very much just doing exactly what I used to watch all the commercial Hindi film heroes of the 80s and 90s do. So those are the only goals I had. uh, yeah, and certainly they've changed a lot. They have changed a lot now over time, and now honestly speaking, my ambition is only and only to just do better work, big or small work. Sure, I hope I get bigger and bigger opportunities, but I don't know. I want to focus on a quality of work. I want to try and have my work bring about some kind of positive change to society.
Mm,
I want to live my life without giving up too much of my freedom and anonymity, even to some extent. you
mm,
know uh, I mean, yeah, it is contradictory, but
mm.
it's true. I don't know. So I don't know. I think I'm just gonna. My goal is to be happy in life, and like films and work is one aspect of my life, and yeah, but really the point is to really be happy, to enjoy the journey, and to yeah, try and change the world.
After such a milestone like Made in Heaven, what sort of projects will you be looking out to do now? And is there anything that we can look forward to as well?
Honestly, I want to surprise the audience. I want to surprise the audience. I want to be surprised myself. I don't have a game plan, but I know I want to do everything. I know I want to explore every genre possible. I want to play every shade of character possible. I want to scare people. I want to make people laugh. I want to do all of it. um yeah, yeah, there's many filmmakers that I wish to work with. Let's see. At the end of it, I'm just an Emmy nominated actor waiting to be cast, and let's see which let's see which filmmakers choose to do that.
Oh, I think the Emmy nomination I think will change a lot of things. I think, to be very honest, not that you needed an Emmy to kind of validate yourself as an actor. I mean, you've always been fantastic, but I think it does kind of give that upper hand a little bit, because obviously it's more like mainstream. That's the thing now. Everyone's always just chasing the mainstream, and it's kind of getting a bit tiring sometimes. It's like, it's
Yeah,
okay to
that's
kind of
what.
look over the
Which,
surface, you know?
which is why I feel so proud right now, because I'm just like, okay, fine, all that heartbreak, all that rejection, all that insecurity, self-doubt, all that envy, all those negative emotions, it's all been worth it, because here I am, here's what was in store for me.
Mm,
So, and how can I complain? Because any one thing having gone slightly differently in my life may have had a completely different outcome, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so that's what I think. It's really important to just like love your shoes, whatever they are, because they're the only ones I'm gonna walk in. So
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Also, I think before I finally let you go as well, is there any update on when Made in Heaven 2 is gonna come out? Is there still any update on that? Have you finished shooting, or what's the status on that?
No, we were about to go on the floors in the month of May, and of course we got put aside because of the pandemic. And
Mhm.
yeah, I'm hearing some murmurs of things being picked up again, but there is yet to be an official announcement. I know there are complete scripts which I have not read. So yeah, I'm as much in the dark as you. Honestly, Amazon or Excel or Tiger Baby will clear this up much better.
Yeah, again, I think they'll probably give me the same explanation as you have. But
Yeah.
I think we can't wait to kind of see that. I'm looking forward to seeing Tara and Karan sort of conquer the world again. And I can't wait to see you keep conquering more as well. And I just wanted to say once again, Arjun, thank you so much for joining me on Filme Shilmy. It's been a long wish of mine to speak with you. And I'm really glad that today happened. And again, congratulations on the Emmy nomination, man. I don't think anyone was more worthy than you to get that. So
Wow.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Anuj. Pleasure. Thank you for having me. Lovely to speak to you finally.
Lovely to speak with you too. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks.